Hi, I'm here to show you two of my custom sabers. These two I feel are my best custom sabers that I have made. I have been making custom PVC lightsabers for about 3 years now. I originally based my first design off of the video by Indie Mogul Backyard Effects, and I made it out of PVC that I got at hardware store. I got it for about $3, a 10-foot tube, and I got two 10-foot tubes of it, and then I got a smaller tube, which I have some left over right here, and this was $1 or $2 for the whole thing, and it was about 6 to 8 feet when I got it. The other ones were 10 feet, and they were this type, about that thick. Anyway, these two sabers I call Prophecy, not Prophecy. Yes, no. Savior, and what was the other one? I don't remember the other one. Maybe you guys come up with a name for it. If anybody watches this, some people will. But if you think you have a good name for the other saber, post it in the comments. These two sabers are meant to be sort of like, one's wielded by a Sith, one's wielded by a Jedi, and these two people are arch nemesis, kind of like Darth Vader and so. Luke, that's his name. So, the first one is the unnamed saber, which I think I need a name for. Now this is missing an activation button. This is not an activation button. It's just there. It's to look like the thing on the back of Luke's sabers. Now this saber I drew inspiration from Ahsoka Tano's lightsaber and Luke Skywalker / Anakin Skywalker's lightsabers. Now this is supposed to be a Sith Lord lightsaber. It originally wasn't going to, but I think it works very well as that. Now it has the basic overall design of Anakin's lightsaber, which is one main tube slanted at the top with some extruded portion. Now, the classic saber, it is made with grips from windshield wipers. However, on this saber, I decided to make it out of a vacuum hose. Now this PVC I purchased at that hardware store, as I was saying earlier, and it was used to create my first ever saber. And I have been holding on to it as much as possible. Now I have about 3 feet of it left, and I'm running low, and I want to find some more, but I don't know exactly what measurement it is, as it is very thin compared to normal. Now the main part of the saber, which is a center tube that actually holds the blade itself, is 3/4 inch PVC. It's just standard, you can get at a hardware store. This is a vacuum hose, as I said before, and it works very well for a grippy part, as it grips quite well and provides a lot of friction, and in my opinion it looks pretty good. This saber is not completely done, as it is missing an activation button that will go right here in this circular part. Now, I took the Dremel and put this spiral pattern on it to make it look as if some kind of lightning or light whip had wound around this and dug and burned itself into the saber to give it a really old, used, beaten up look. I drew inspiration for this saber from Ahsoka Tano's, from the slit down the middle. I was originally going to do that on both sides, but then when I opened it up in the front here, it lended itself very well to Anakin Skywalker style of lightsabers. This piece, I don't know where I got it, I just drilled a hole and screwed it in. And then I painted it all silver, then sprayed black on, dabbing the black off with plastic bags to make it look like it had a thick patina. It stayed in the cracks and crevices, especially here. And I still have to give that treatment to the end cap, as I just put that on tonight. And the other saber, I do have a name for, and while this one is supposed to be a Sith saber, this is supposed to be the Jedi hero saber. This is called Savior. It is a crossguard saber made to look very old. It originally had a glossy silver finish, but I did not like that, as the glossy silver didn't quite gloss because of the clear coat. The clear coat killed it and made it just sort of gray, and so I did the same treatment I did to this. In fact, it was originally done on a completely different saber, and I liked it on that saber so much I decided to do it to both of these sabers, as this was originally plain silver with a black wash, which is just basically I took some black paint, heavily thinned it with water, basically put a whole splotch to where you thought the saber was ruined, and then wiped it off with a rag. And that's what gave it a lot of its dirty appearance. But with time and use, this saber, the paint wore off. There was spots. You can actually see a little bit of them, but not quite. But there was spots where the original color of the PVC was coming through. This saber, I actually constructed first. I used this has the most experimental saber I have, and I think it is my highest quality saber, and my best looking, and it has the best feel, as I love wielding this saber in battle, and it is just really long. I have room for both of my hands, and I'm a big guy. I'm like 6'1", and my hands are huge, but I can wield this saber so comfortably. Now, the way I made this saber was taking a tube of PVC, and the first experimental thing I did with it was something I'd never done before. I tried it heating PVC. Now, as I don't have the best setup, all I have is a hacksaw and a Dremel. I first cut this to 45 degrees, as you can see. Now, a bit of sanding, like right here, there was a slight imperfection. I'm sorry, the lighting is very bad here. But there was a slight imperfection, and when it got heated up, that got really big. And right here, there's a tiny chip out of it. But I feel it was added to the character because it make it look even more to the old, used, like, legend saber. Now this one, however, I do not like. This is where I had started cutting the PVC, and until I was mostly done and satisfied with the lightsaber, I didn't realize it. For what I did was I heated the saber up on the front here. As you can see, there's a bulge on the back, and this flange. What I did was I heated it up so that it was bendable. Then I shoved a pop bottle into it. This is from the front of the pop bottle. This little bump here is from the edge, and then this is from the curved part, and you had to pull it out while it was still pliable, if not it got stuck in the lightsaber. That did happen to me in a different lightsaber that I just built. And it is not fun at all, as you have to heat it up and the pop bottle starts melting, and it's terrible. Now I don't have much time left, so I'll just get on and wrap with it. I cut this grill pattern into it by just drilling a bunch of holes with a Dremel. This is actually from a toilet screw that holds your seat on. I just glued it on, and when I painted it, it looked right in place. This is a bead, and all of the carving that was done with a Dremel. I heated this up to make it pump out slightly, and then after I was done with that, all of that work, I had done the same treatment I did to this with these. I JB welded, water welded these on place. This crack here is because of when I was dueling with this saber, this part actually broke off and I had to JB weld it in place. But it adds to the effect. So I gave it the same patina treatment I did with this, though I wanted to go a step further, and I put some extra black on the tips to make it look like it had been burned. And the crack also has extra, so it looks like this has been chopped off and reapplied. And then I did an electrical tape grip. So those are my two sabers. And sorry for the bad lighting. And this is Jeshrin, and see ya.